not just a political matter with him. It was a sense of conscience, a sense of commitment, something that put his own political career on the line.
In 1945, Hubert H. Humphrey became the youngest mayor ever elected in Minneapolis, and he was a trailblazer in the civil rights movement. There's a new book and a film celebrating his accomplishments 75 years later, and there's a special event happening at the Minnesota History Center to learn more about this Minnesota hero, and I'm happy to welcome documentary filmmaker Mick Cowett. Thank you for joining us, Mick.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I'm a little intimidated. You've interviewed so many people and are a master of documentary filmmaking that 4 minutes is not going to be enough. But you know what? This is the book that's come out, and you did the documentary film, your second, on Humphrey.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about this impetus. There's a turning point, a pivot point in his sort of fame during the Democratic National Convention in the 40s.
Right. Well, first off, he as you said, he was the youngest mayor by the largest landslide in city history. And the 3 years as mayor, he impacted virtually every phase of the city government. He changed the city. And his reputation spread, and he was asked to speak at the Democratic Convention in 1948. He gave a civil rights speech for a civil rights plank. And it basically changed the Democratic Party, which was a party of anti-civil rights, was Southern segregationists. And it also it was one of the early marks of the civil rights movement.
Yeah, and it's one of these, it was interesting reading about that speech. I had never known about that pivot point. And as he's giving this speech as a relatively unknown person, there are cheers and there are boos coming from the party.
Right.
And there was something magnetic that had gravity about what he was saying that literally changed the course of the party.
It did. And he was not relatively unknown, he was unknown.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody really knew who he was. And he's 37 years old, speaking to these, kind of crusty Southern, the Dixiecrats, the Southern segregationists. And so you had them, and then you had people who were supporting his speech. So that's why it's back and forth between the cheers and the boos.
And people know that he was
courageous speech, by the way.
Yeah, right, to go out and say that sort of thing and really go against the grain.
Could have ruined his career, his own career too.
Highwire Act. Well, people know some of his accomplishments, but what I didn't realize is he was a lead author in the Civil Rights Act in 1964, which, changed the course of American history.
Yes, it did. And changed lives for anybody of color, and even white people.
And sex,
It changed all kinds of things.
It led to those protections.
Public places and all that kind of thing. And his journey to that bill started here in Minneapolis. He had a heroic struggle against anti-Semitism and racism in Minneapolis. And that's how his reputation began to grow. And so he had probably 10 or 12 years of civil rights legislation leading up to the 64 bill. So that was sort of his legacy with civil rights, was really his strongest legacy, even though he had 1,100 bills in 10 years.
Wow.
I know.
Considering his impact on this nation and what's happened in the last 5 years in this country, and particularly this city, what do you think his reaction would be today to the temperature of America?
I think he would be really tough, and he and also Paul Wellstone, of course, but the two of them would have been standing up to whatever's wrong in a way that no one else has right now. He had this strength. He was seen as that he talked a lot, and he was kind of soft, but he was strong, and he would have stood up to the whole what's happening to politics and what's happening to his government, because he was really a strong believer in democracy, small d democracy too.
Yeah. What can people expect quickly from your second film?
Well, this is going to be a film about that time, and it's going to start at his coming back to Minneapolis and becoming mayor, and through his mayor years, and then the speech itself.
Wonderful.
And the book is going to be basically about the same time the two of us are going to speak.
Great.
Premiere the film and discuss the book.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Mick. Again, really nice to meet you.
You too.
Pleasure having you on, and congratulations on the film, by the way.
Thank you.
Now, the event is on October 28th. It goes from 1 to 3 p.m. Admission is $16, and there's a discount for Minnesota Historical Society members. We got a link to get tickets. It's on KARE11.com, so just hop on the website and you can get tickets to the event.